Trailmix, he's the trail, she's the mix. They hike on trails and step on sticks. Trailmix.
Hello everyone, this is Trailmix, and I'm Chris.
I'm Tori.
And I'm Corey. And today we are at the Arcadia Mill. This is a archaeological site.
It is the first water-powered industrial complex and sawmill in antebellum, Florida. That was made in antebellum, Florida. This isn't antebellum, Florida anymore. That is not a current location that you can travel to.
Currently we are just south, a couple miles south of Milton, Florida.
In Arcadia.
Arcadia
Can
Mill.
you believe it? We have spoken with the most helpful and brilliant and enthusiastic museum staff ever. There is a teeny tiny museum when you first drive up. We walked through it, got a little background. We spoke with Crystal, the archaeological coordinator, who is super pumped about this video, told us a lot about the trail and where we can find little carnivorous plants.
The trail itself is about 1.3 miles. And so it should be a relatively simple hike. We were told that the elevation was a little staggering here, more so than any of the other trails we've hiked so far. So we'll see. All right, everyone, we just arrived here at the Arcadia Mill Trail. It's in the back of a neighborhood, so it was a little confusing when we first pulled up, but it is there, I promise. And this is where we parked, right here. All right. If we go a little farther, the visitor center is right up here, and the trail is right in front of us. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday. State property is under 24-hour video surveillance, so don't try anything crazy.
We're open, but watch it.
Ooh, I kind of like this. It feels like nature, but subdued by man.
It's nature light.
Okay, she said after we cross the bridge, we would look to our left. Is this that bridge, you think? Maybe this is the bridge.
Ooh, tiger swallowtail.
Oh, wow! That's so
Oh my goodness. Please wait for me to get my phone.
Take a picture. It's a butterfly.
Please wait. This is a tiger swallowtail. They're beautiful.
Why did it just get that? There you go.
Oh,
Just so damn
Thank
enough. Let's
you,
get a
sir.
picture. That's so cool. Oh, that was really cool.
You know it.
All right, this trail's looking pretty good so far. No diving, jumping, or swimming. You can't swim in any of these
So
rivers.
if we go over to the river and we look to our right, we should be able to see the foundations of the sawmill.
It is fairly clear.
Right.
A little cloudy still, but hey, you know. Oh, I know I'm not going to be able to see this on the bridge. You can't still see the bottom, though. She was right about that. Oh yeah, there's the foundation.
Oh wow, it's huge.
All right, this is where they would have floated the logs down the river. By this river right here. Oh, they were? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder, what happens if a spider gets caught in another spider's web?
He gets eaten.
I feel like that's sad. Sad but true. Nature irony. You know? Only the strong survive.
Anyway, all right, we have come to a fork. I'm not 100% sure where we are, but that blaze is an indicator that that is the real trail. But we're not going to go on the real trail.
Why?
We're going to go towards Twitchell's log flume.
Because it's way cooler.
It is way cooler.
Yeah.
Gets rugged for us.
That's the right side of the trail. And you know what they say about the right side of the trail?
Oh.
It's always right.
Oh.
Actually, it leads to the Minotaur's maze. We have a test wit.
Wow.
All right. Yep. Now we need a Sphinx with a riddle to help us get through. Which way do you think is the right way?
Chris, you have the sphinxiest hair. Give us a riddle.
Nope. Not coming to me.
You know what I think I found?
What?
Berry.
Did you really?
I think so.
Wow.
Here.
Oh, wow. I think they
They're
are.
all over. They're so beautiful.
Is these bright red and pink ones, is that like a young blueberry?
Yeah, that's what they look like before they ripen.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All right, limbo, Corey.
What's up?
You don't have to destroy it. You could just go under it.
Oh. Tell me if I'm getting caught.
Duck lower. There you go.
The line's right here if you can see it.
Yeah.
I cannot. Oh, I can. I can see it now. Okay.
All right. So we just walked up this lovely boardwalk and came to this and just went all over the place. There were like a million different little loops, and as long as you follow the blazes, you'll eventually get back here.
Yes, exactly.
If the mosquitoes don't suck you dry first.
Yes.
If you can make it back here, you will. They stopped eating. They're watching us. They're like, what do we do
These
now?
are the biggest ants we've ever seen. I wish we could drop a quarter. Do we have a quarter, anybody?
They're making a break for it.
They're all teaming up to lift it, like brotherhood.
You should leave it there. See if he comes. Can you take this quarter? This could buy me so many bees.
The queen's affection. I'll buy it. That's the smart ant. He's like, what's going on? I gotta get out of here, quick. He's the one that cares about his life.
That's right.
When we first came through here, we went to the left. Now we're going to the right. Let's see what's this way.
All right, Corey's gonna conquer this loop. Corey, 1, 2, 3, go! We'll see you later.
I'm coming.
Corey's back. What did you see?
Something really great. You gotta see it. You just have I can't put it in words.
Okay, now we can go.
You just have to see it with your own eyes. You just exactly.
We found a textile mill.
Yeah, we found it.
Or the foundation of a textile mill.
Yes.
Isn't it glorious?
So right here, this little cement right angle here is one of the corners of the textile mill, you said?
Textile mill.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
sir.
textile mill. The cornerstone. Yeah, unfortunately none of these buildings are here anymore. It's only the foundations, but it's still a really cool historical site. I wonder what the purpose of putting a textile mill like on a river would be. Like, what is the river power?
The water power. Like
Oh, yeah, because yes, duh. This is the first water power. We said that at the beginning of the video,
We sure did.
and I already forgot.
I love you.
Well, it's a trail that was 1.3 miles. As soon as you walk into the entrance, there's an immediate fork in the path. So you can either take left, which goes off the main boardwalk, and it has all these loops to the forest. And when you go right, that whole half is all boardwalk. So it's kind of like a bow tie. Like, that's what this trail is.
If you're really bad at tying bow ties.
Yeah, the left side was pretty crazy. It was like a spider web of trails. Once you get a little bit farther in.
Which is appropriate. First category we're rating this trail on is natural beauty.
Natural beauty. Well, you know, I'm just gonna elaborate on what I was just saying. You know, this is like the bow tie of nature. You know, the path looks like a bow tie. You know, the place is very historic, and historic people were dressy all the time, 24/7, even when they slept. You know, they had all this fancy gear on. And so, yeah, this trail was made by them and for them. Though it does have a lot of spider webs and mosquitoes. So make sure you bring some repellent
And a
for this
stick?
one. And a stick. I mean, there are plenty of sticks on the ground, so you could just use one of those, and you know. So yes, I give it a dressy bow tie. That's my rating. Out of 10. Well, I guess it's not 100% natural beauty. Don't get me wrong, the trail was very beautiful. Canopies overhung the trail. There was plenty of shade over the boardwalk, so even if it was a hot day, you know, you had plenty of tree cover to keep you cool. The roots all over the ground from the trees. It doesn't sound like it'd be pretty eye-catching, but the way the trees and I guess the roots arc over the path, it was pretty cool to see. And every now and then you would also have a few historical inventions, like a horse, the thing that the carriage and whichever that horses pull.
Oh, the horrible, the hay baler
when was a horse
thing, the
invented?
weird-
Yeah, it had that barrel thing that, you know, the horses pull behind it.
Okay,
It
yes,
had
I
that
got
sitting,
you.
yeah, it had that sitting on the side of the trail. It was, I don't know, it just kind of made it, it just brung out the history feel of the trail, which I, in turn, thought was very beautiful. So, 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 3 root coverings for this trail.
That's your rating.
Yes.
Okay, great.
What's a root covering? Roots covering this trail.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, well, I agree. I'm going to piggyback off of that, if I may. I think that the way that the natural beauty of this area sort of melds with the accessibility that they've put in and the archaeology that they're studying there is really what makes it special. And for that, and they invented the horse there too, so, which is pretty great. So I'm going to give it 10 horses out of 10 in terms of natural beauty.
Wow, that's a lot of horsepower.
10.
10 horsepower. That's like 9 more than the
A
first car.
100th of a car. Let's talk about cool critters, since we're clearly dying to talk about critters of some description. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm trying to think of all the critters that we saw on this absolutely majestically stampede of natural creatures ready to burst from the scenes.
May I mention something
Yes.
to lead us into this?
Mm-hmm.
The way that we were led into this trail. The moment that we stepped onto the boardwalk, this gigantic tiger swallowtail wafted down from the woods and landed directly next to us, just long enough for me to take 2 photos before it flew away. To guide us into this trail. Thank you, Grandfather Butterfly. I'm gonna give it a Grandfather Swallowtail. That's my rating.
As far as cool critters, you know, for me personally, there was nothing really that stood out, honestly. Like, we had a big old fat toad that was really cool. We had a bunch of what I imagine were fairly sizable lizards that ran away from us the second we approached them. We didn't see what they were, so I imagine they're fairly sizable because they sounded big, but again, we didn't see them. And yeah, we pretty much had like a bag of Skittles, if you will, in an assortment of different animals that were just dumped on the trail. And they were all cool in their own special way. I'm gonna rate this 1 bag of Skittles. Mammal Skittles. Mammal flavored Skittles. You're right. We didn't? 1 bag of amphibious, assorted, tropical Skittles.
Top that, Corey.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
There you go.
Well, I guess there's only one other thing that I could add onto that. He pretty much ran across everything that we did see. So I'm going to talk about the thing we didn't see, which was advertised at the beginning of the trail of a venomous snake. We even thought we saw one, but it was just a squiggly branch when we walked up to it. It's probably a good thing for the viewers. So,
And us too.
yes, and I guess us too. But yeah, we didn't necessarily see any venomous snakes. So if you're I guess if that's what you want to come to this trail and see, you know, you might have to look a little bit harder than the average Joe. 1 invisible venomous. If you really want to see one, just bring a bag of venomous snake bait. We can show you how to do the venomous snake mating dance too if you really want to see one.
What are you doing right now?
Guy was like, if you want to see a venomous snake, like, why would you want to attract a venomous snake to you?
Okay, so our X factor on which we will be rating this trail is archaeology.
For my archaeology rating, in the museum, I know this is not technically the trail, but this is what catches my mind's eye. In the museum, they had a little educational center where they would teach children about archaeology at this site. And what they would do is, since you don't necessarily always want to hand valuable, very fragile, breakable objects to littler people. They are 3D printing the artifacts that they find in exact replicas, and then they paint them. I'll rate this 3D wonderment.
It is not often that one can go onto a trail and see really, really visible, like, vestiges of the past the way that you can on this one. There are tons of little foundations for buildings that were around this area, because there were tons of buildings on this one little area. The land was sort of passed around a little bit in 1860. Timothy Twitchell acquired this land. Eventually, he had on it a sawmill, a cocoonery, a textile mill, and something else I don't remember.
Railroad? Did you say that?
He did not build it.
Oh yeah, he didn't build it, but there was one there.
Chris says there was a railroad there too. There's a lot of stuff on this land, and you can actually see a lot of foundations for these things. Like when you're crossing the first bridge, you look to your right. There's the foundation for what we believe was the sawmill?
Yes.
Yes. You can see underwater, there's the foundation for the sawmill. And near the beginning of the trail, if you take a right, there's this gigantic foundation for a textile mill. It's an active site for archaeology, and they're always learning new things about it. And it's got a rich history, and I give it a strong foundation.
Oh, okay. So when you're walking on the boardwalk, and there's this big opening, and you can see the foundation of the textile mill still. So one of the most prominent things that you can still see from the foundation is the cornerstone. And I want to point out that the cornerstone of the cornerstone is very noticeable and lovely to be looked at. So my rating is one giant cornerstone.
Let's rate this on overall hikeability. Chris.
Let's see. Honestly, I'm not going to give this one an easy hiking rating either. I think this is my second trail where I am not going to give an easy hiking rating. Most of it was easily accessible and hikeable. But then which is the boardwalk. But as soon as the boardwalk ends, this is a rather elevated trail. Like you will, you're stepping over roots a lot. You have to watch the ground or you might trip. And I'm not gonna say it's hilly, but I guess for Florida there are a lot of larger steps you need to take to get over some of these obstructions in the path. And so yeah, I would give it. It's rooted in history.
I am going to concur that about half of this trail, which is the boardwalk, big, wide, well-maintained boardwalk, anybody can go on it, anybody can roll down it with whatever apparatus they have or may need. And then you get to the nature part, and if you hate nature, then you don't have to go on it. But if you're feeling a little more rugged, yeah, it does get a little crazy, especially when you're staring at the ground for roots and venomous snakes, and you're staring at the sky for the giant banana spider webs that are constantly flying at your face. So I'm gonna say it was rooted in thrills and spills and snakes. Tori.
I actually didn't think this trail was really all that difficult. Boardwalk was, pretty easy because it's man-made. But like once you get to nature, it's a little rough, but I still think it's fairly easy to get over. So I'm going to say this trail was pretty, not that difficult. It was fair winds on open sea with a little waves every now and then. So we mentioned the really, really helpful employee. Her name was Crystal, that we met and talked to for a good length of time in the museum. She mentioned the Florida Public Archaeology Network. It's like a program that the state of Florida has combined with archaeologists to train civilians, not be like professional archaeologists, but just to train them to spot out different smaller things involving archaeology to help out professional archaeologists, and they just teach you different things to look for. Your city might be affiliated. She told us that Panama City was affiliated with that, and where they were, Santa Rose.
Do they have a website?
And yes, they do have a website. It's called flpublicarchaeology.org. And so if you're interested, check it out and see what they have to offer.
If you like our videos, you can subscribe to our channel below.
Or you can just click the like button, or both.
Or both, preferably both.
All right, everybody. Happy trails. That was the cue.
Sorry. This is new. We're scared. Okay.
All right, everybody.
Happy trails.